author DL Tillery here, the Mistress of Horror, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, how about you press that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. Welcome back to Vamptember. This is the next video in a series of videos that's occurring this month because I'm doing Vamptember. If you don't know what Vamptember is, then you haven't been keeping up. I have a announcement video. I have a recommendation video for you if you're going to be doing Vamptember. I'm going to be doing the first video technically for the prompts. I did do a themed video for my PAX Poetry Prompt Sunday video, which is my first video of the month usually, and I made the prompt be vampire, and I wrote a poem based around the prompt like I usually do, but it was Vamptember themed this time around. So technically that was my first video. Then I did my announcement video for doing Vamptember, and then I did a recommendation video for Vamptember of recommending some books, some movies, some shows, even makeup and some perfume. So now this video is technically going to be the first start of the prompts. And if you recall the prompts, if you don't, they are in the description below. But I'm going to talk about and do the review, technically, video for the books that I read for the first prompt. The book that I planned to read originally, I did not read that book. I did mention that my participation in this challenge was going to be a little difficult because September is right back when school starts, and I'm a homeschool mom, and I was going to be very busy with other things on top of that. But I still am making time for this challenge because, duh, I love everything vampires. That being said, the book that I originally picked did not work out. So I'm probably going to read it at a later date for something else, but it's not going to be for this challenge. I needed something that I would read that was an easy flow for me, that I wasn't going to have a struggle with to finish. Something I think that's like I'm eating up the pages and I want to keep going. The book that I end up reading was Taken by the Vampire, which is by two authors, Roxy Ray and Lindsay Devon. They did great with this book. Now, I picked up this book. My time was pressed. I almost thought this video would not be ready for this week because it wasn't looking good. Originally, when I did my writer's vlog, and I mentioned that I was going to try to put out a video on Monday, on Wednesday, and Friday. That was the plan because technically I should have been finished the other book by like Monday because I was already reading it. But again, that did not happen, so I had to start all over again. And so I did finish that book yesterday before this is being recorded, and I blew through it. It was just my type of jam. The structure of the book, the style writing, perfect for me, okay? So I finished the first book. Granted, it was only like 230 pages, which is a smaller, somewhat smaller size book. Still a full-size novel, but a smaller size book. Then I wanted to go right into book 2 because it ends where you need to go to the next book. That one is called Stolen by the Vampire. Still by the same two authors. I'm like, I need to read the next one. But of course, I couldn't read it before I would do this video, clearly. But I did finish Taken by the Vampire. Giving it 5 stars. I already left a review on Amazon and probably showed up on Goodreads. I am involved in the series. I have to read the rest. I started the other book, part 2, right after and went through 50 pages in minutes. I was on a roll with that. So I'm reading that one still. But I am going to do a follow-up video for book 2 and 3 because it's a trilogy. And I'm probably going to be reading the other books from these two authors because they look like my type of stuff. So this is like a vampire romance, and it could be a little spicy, so some people may not like that, so I'm giving you a heads up on that right now. It's not overly spicy. It's not like it's erotic or anything, just that I would imagine that once they have smacks, it would be probably on the page, but it wasn't any in the first book. It was a lot of kissing in certain instances, but the romance and the tension was there. They did not do the nasty in book 1. I'm assuming that's going to happen in book 2. They're good writers to tease you. I really enjoyed it. I love the story and the premise. I don't want to give anything away really, the story, because if you read it yourself, this is a non-spoiler type review, but what can I say? I loved the main characters. The male lead name is Nicholas. She calls him Nick for short, and which that name was just like, ugh, because it's like first boyfriend's name, and I was like, ugh. The story was good. I really did again like Nick. He's a vampire, so I mean, some people may like their males a certain way in books. I like my males in my romances to be very assertive, very direct. What some words that people use? Alpha male style. I know that's not a thing for humans, but it's a saying that we use in books too. But yeah, more like that type, and I really like that. And that's the type of male lead that he was. You know, he's super rich or whatever. Of course, he's a vampire. It's always stupid when they make vampires as older, and he's old, and they're like don't have money. Like, dude, how you been around this long and you don't have money? Like, you okay? Like you, you could literally keep some stuff and you would have, like had money. So it would make sense that a vampire that's hundreds and hundreds of years old has accumulated no wealth whatsoever. Not believable. Pretty stupid, but it happens in some stories. But anyway, he's rich. He owns casinos or whatever. And then the female lead, Leia, I believe it's Leia. It's like a Leia. Leah, she is down on her luck, as far as like she has a terrible parent, a terrible father. Well, he becomes a drunk and he gambles. Like he gambles all their wealth away. They apparently had some a long time ago. Her family is connected to a lineage of females that are like, I haven't gotten to the point. They said they're strong, but I don't know what that means. She doesn't seem like she has any kind of powers, but I think she's connected to Camilla. I think that's the name, her mother's name, but I don't think it's that Camilla. But I was like, okay, it's the female lead is dealing with her father's bull, and he's making them lose their bar and their house. They're about to lose everything because of him. But he also, at the same point, had gotten a loan, so to speak, from the male lead, the vampire, and he actually put a subclause of like almost like selling his daughter. Um, we find out about that kind of fast, so that's not a spoiler. But so that kind of starts their whole situation. Well, it doesn't start their whole situation, but that's how they end up living together. But their first meeting is random. They totally like make out right there. It's good. I really liked it. I ate it up. So the second book, I'm already on it, but I'm glad I end up finding this book in the series because I'm going to be reading it until I'm done. Anyway, that's my review. 5 stars for this one. Check it out. Now, I went ahead and did a second book for the first prompt. You don't have to, because the first prompt is, and again, you can check the description below, but the first prompt was to read a vampire novel and or novella, not both. But I decided just to read Anne Rice's Lestat, the Vampire Lestat graphic novel, which I hadn't read it, but I had purchased it a couple years ago from Wonder Books when I was in there. And it's really good. I mean, I already like Anne Rice. I'm a big Anne Rice fan. I love Interview with the Vampire. I love the Lestat series. So this is just a plus for me. Of course, I give it 5 stars because, duh, it's Lestat. Vampires. Anne Rice. It's easy, duh. But the graphic novel is a different level because you get the artwork. Great, amazing, painted style illustration. Amazing. So it kind of brings like almost like a film aspect to it. And I personally did not like the Interview with the Vampire film. Not a lot of people disliked it. I mean, when I was younger at the time, I thought it was okay. I couldn't stand Tom Cruise as Lestat. I could not stand it. I was like, he's terrible as a vampire. Like, and I was like, please, Tom Cruise, never ever play a vampire ever again. That was how bad I found his acting to be for Lestat. My own personal view on that, a lot of people liked that when I didn't dislike the movie per se, but I just didn't care for pretty much Tom Cruise's Lestat. I mean, Brad Pitt was fine as Louis, I suppose, and They also had Antonio Banderas in it. Like, I'm quite sure that they just picked the most attractive men in Hollywood, America, at the time, and most popular ones. And then they were like, well, here they go. Put them in this movie. It'll do great because they're in it. That's what the casting looked like to me, as far as the males in it. I'm just saying. Either way, this was like a movie version in books because of the graphic novel essence. The illustration is beautiful. The physical book, which I showed when I did my recommendation video. It's hard to get this now. It's not easy to get it. So you kind of would have to just be willing to pay a little bit more. You probably can find them on eBay. Amazon may have some, but they're a little bit higher because of that. I found mine in Wonder Books a couple years ago, which is used, but it's in perfect condition. Like, there's no tearing or anything like that. But I wanted to show you some of the illustration inside here. This is considered painted by Derek Gross, which I mentioned in my other video. And it's really interesting style. As you can see here, you see more of how it's painted. Right there. I think the style is very interesting. But I really enjoyed it. It was like all over again. It was well adapted from the novel. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And the style is unique. You see how the style is different than some other graphic novels because of the painting style that they chose to go with. That was my second book that I read for Vamptember. Both of those 5 stars. Both great. Again, if you like the Vampire Lestat, it's not like it's gonna be like, oh man, this story isn't finished. It's right there. Like, if you watched the movie or you've read the novel, then this would just be an added cup of tea. Definitely pick it up if you can. It is worth getting. And again, the first book that I talked about, vampire romance, definite for sure. But anyway, that's my review for those two. So you got a double review today. And I'm going to be working on my next video for Vamptember. The second prompt is for reading a short story or a poem. I actually found a poem that I read that I really liked, the vampire one that I'll be doing in the next video. And I read a graphic novel of Dracula. It's very small, so I counted that as like a short story because it's a shorter version of Dracula. But that'll be in my next video. Anyway, thanks for watching and enjoy your Vamptember. And stay scared.